A major component of the downtown area will be getting a $1 million facelift. Our Brian Burns tells us the planned city council has approved to strengthen and improve facilities along the seawall.
Cities in California and cities in Florida, like, San Diego and Carmel and Fort Lauderdale, they all have really well-developed waterfronts. And so part of this work will enable us to really elevate our seawall.
Alyssa Barrera Mason, the executive director of the Downtown Management District, reacting to this week's city council approval of a $1 million facelift and maintenance project for the seawall.
It's already very highly utilized and trafficked. Our downtown tourist numbers are even above pre-pandemic numbers, so we're blowing 2019 out of the water, and with that comes more activity on the seawall.
The project is using Type A funds, which represents a 1/8 cent sales tax earmarked for tourist-related projects. Director of City Engineering Jeff Edmonds says there are lots of examples of the kind of work expected this summer.
Reinforced concrete structure, and over time it experiences various distresses. You have cracking, you have spalls, and you have joints that fail, and those tend to progressively get worse if you don't address them.
Edmonds says these breakdowns are obvious and include cracks in the walls and steps up and down the seawall, and the facelift will include replacements of broken fixtures like drinking fountains and the miradors, which will all need some repair. The seawall, built in the 40s, actually protects the more than $400 million of downtown property values and has protected the area through Harvey and Hurricane Hannah.
Additionally, it's going to give it a good cleaning and address some cosmetic issues. It's going to repaint the top step where it's painted white. We're going to clean it up, power wash. There's also going to be, there's missing water fountains out there, the miradors.
Edmonds says a contract should be awarded in the next few months, and the work is expected to take 6 months, which means the project could be finished by the end of the year. Brian Burns, 3 News.